What's up, GVA? My name is SirBerrington, and the gameplay in front of you is a game called Crysis 2. I don't know if you've heard of it, but this was back in the beta from my PC. I was just going through some old junk files and found this because my hard drive was getting a little full and thought you guys would enjoy it. So, but this game was specifically for the PC, so I could, talk about some of the controversial things that we're going to talk about today because... First of all, I just want to say, I know there are tons of fanboys for every console, everything, so just to get it out of the way, I don't care what you play at all, it's just what you think is what you do to have fun. So that's all that really matters, is how much fun you have while playing the game. But we're just going to go through some of the opinions and titles about, the differences between PC versus console, the flame war that's been, going around since pretty much Atari. So, first of all, let's just go through some opinions. For me, I'm pretty much an all-around kind of gamer. I enjoy, Xbox, PS3, PC, but I don't own a PS3. I used to. I didn't really like the small controller. It didn't fit me. I was a huge PS2 fanboy forever, but that's, different than what we're talking about. But, first of all, I just wanted to notice that, Microsoft did a great job with their voice chat on Xbox Live. Or when I got it, they all shipped with microphones. I don't know if they still do, but that's probably the main reason why, a lot of people argue that, everybody on Xbox is like an 8-year-old person. There's a whole lot of squeakers and stuff like that, and I can sort of agree with that. I can see where they're coming, because if you have a really high-end gaming computer, you're probably not, a really young kid, unless your dad or someone had a really good gaming computer and he'd always been playing games on it, because, an Xbox is around $200, maybe a little bit more, depending on where you buy it, and really good gaming computers can cost sometimes, around $1,000, but, it definitely has its perks, but that's probably the main reason why you won't see too many little kids on it. Most of the people on PC are a little bit older guys with jobs and stuff like that who are willing to invest money into a really high-end computer. It's where they could play some games on really high-end graphical settings. But the first thing we want to talk about is, the portability. Obviously, you're going to have tons more portability between consoles, because they're just all wrapped into one little package that you could, unplug, take over to someone's place, plug it in, and be playing games right away. But with PC, you have to, unplug everything, and you can't really move it, and, especially if you have a huge computer with something like water cooling and stuff like that, if you're, PC guy, you know what I'm talking about. But the thing is, it's just a whole jumble mess of wires, and it's just a really hard thing to deal with. And plus, if you have any OS upgrades, you will probably lose most of your drivers. And also, once again, if you're a PC guy, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's just a really big hassle, and there's just a lot more convenience wrapped into a console. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the graphics point of view. So obviously, both console and PC have amazing graphics, from this new age, to where the graphics virtually look real, and Crysis is a really, really, really good, example for that. But the main difference is that, on Xbox, they have a game like Battlefield 3 that plays at 30 frames per second, and a game versus, and it playing at 60 frames per second on the PC. And a lot of guys are like, why is this? Why can't we have amazing graphics? Because a game like Battlefield 3 requires a whole lot of, power in a machine, and Xbox can't really handle that if it's at 60 frames per second, or PS3 at that matter. Even though some guys may say, Blu-ray is, it has Blu-ray, that really doesn't make a difference. It's just as much, power as you could give that little CPU inside your, your console or your PC. So, the graphics for the PC are pretty much unlimited, because mainly you can keep upgrading your video card and your audio card and all that stuff to where you can just have the best possible graphics. You could play on max settings, which is obviously the best possible settings you can play on, but on Xbox you have pretty much, the AV cables, the HDMI, the HDAV, depending on what your graphic level will be. So next one we'll have, accessories. On the Xbox and PS3, there is obviously, the chat pad, the headset, all that stuff for really good, entertainment value and all that crazy stuff. And Xbox really does a good job on their voice chat, and because they have, tons and tons and tons of, that's pretty much one of their main things that they go by is their amazing voice chat, their party chat, their in-game chat. It's all just really well combined, and PC has game chat. A lot of people don't really, think that PC has game chat. It does. It's just not, mainly used. People mainly use typing just because it's a bother to get a, really good PC mic, just like it is for PlayStation, which is just another reason why I don't really want to mess with the PlayStation, just because it's just me. I don't personally like the accessories that come with it. That's just me. So, but for the PC, you can really, really, really get fancy. There are guys who play, games like freaking World of Warcraft. I'm not hating on it, but there are guys that buy 3 or 4 screens and set them up right next to each other, and just, so they could have the best possible viewing experience. So just imagine this, guys. 3 20 by 20, or not 20 by 20, but 3 20-inch screens right next to each other set up. That is one of the ultimate, gaming setups right there. A tri-screen setup with max settings. That is just ridiculous. And so you could be playing a game on all 3, or you could be playing a game on one, doing like a video on another and watching a movie on another. There's just endless possibilities for what you could do with some of the things that you could get for PC, which is pretty much the unlimited thing, which is why people, say that it's, for big guys, because there's guys who have been on it pretty much since the beginning, and they're never really going to move away from there, just because a lot of kids get consoles for Christmas and stuff like that, and, it's just really a really hard thing to argue about right there. But the next thing we're going to go and talk about is titles. For titles, their Xbox and console has, exclusive games like Gears of War, and Xbox has all these under-the-table like jobs with all these, super, big gaming corporations to get map packs first, to get all the exclusive games, Halo, Gears of War, all these really good games that everyone sees, But PS3 also has some really big titles like Heavy Rain and stuff like that requires tons of, space, because PS3 can run Blu-ray. But PC can also run Blu-ray, depending on what kind of PC you have, and it can also, have a big effect on what kind of game you play. And there's, but the main thing that differs from the PC and the console from online playability is the dedicated servers for the PC. And if you've played Gears of War, you know that they have dedicated servers, but pretty much this is just where there's no host and where the game company hosts the game. So they've had this pretty much since I can remember, on maybe COD 4 days, to where you would just get the best possible connection with everything, and the best possible experience with it. There's no lag, there's no speed. Anyone can rage quit and the game won't end. So if you've played Gears, they say dedicated servers, but you're not really going to see that on consoles just because of the money and how hard it is to do that. But on PC, you'll see a whole lot of it because it's probably the best way of playing it, and it's hard to do peer-to-peer on that. But that's just what I'm talking about, guys. And remember, it doesn't really matter what you play on, just the fun experience it is. And this is SirBerrington. See you guys later. Bye.